Alright, so this video is on timing. It might seem a little bit odd to be placed in the body position of a rubric, but it fits in quite nicely. The reason being is that when you swim with a different timing or a different mechanism between your arms and your legs, it becomes more and more challenging to maintain your body position because the parts are working against each other. So in this video here, I have a windmill swimmer. So we don't see this a ton in triathletes. Every once in a while we do. But we can see when you're swimming with a windmill, it's going to take a ton of power to maintain your body position through your core, right? But often when we see a windmill, we start to see people firing back and forth. Their legs are going to be sinking because they're not able to maintain that stability through their trunk and through their leg and through their kick, right? So we see a lot of people with sinking down legs in a windmill position. The next one we see is kind of an overglide. So what happens here is when you start to overglide, you start to reduce any kind of propulsion you're creating during that. So your body position tends to sink down, especially if you're not a great floater. So we can see in this position here, there's no propulsion there. And when you're floating in that position, you need to be able to kick and you need to be able to balance yourself for a very long time to kind of float in that line. It might be efficient to, energy-wise to swim like this, but it's definitely not going to be efficient speed-wise or to be able to hold your body position. If you increase your tempo just a little bit, then your body position is going to be much improved, right? You're not going to be having these positions where we're starting to sink or feel like we're sinking because we're not having that dead spot in our stroke where we don't have any propulsion, we don't have any lift, right? Because our legs and our arms are actually providing the lift for our stroke. So that's really one thing you got to be concerned about while we're swimming, is that we have to maintain that lift in that body position, right? And we'll show you one more example. So this is another example here for, we call it breathing late in the stroke, right? So while you're swimming, and if your tempo is wrong for your breath, that also has an effect to change your body position. So in this video here, we're going to see what happens when you breathe late. So you tend to over rotate because you're on your side and you're trying to stay on that side to be able to get that breath forever. Your arm's coming up, you're still trying to get that breath, and then it throws your head position out, right? So there's a lot of things that can go on. So I'll just let you watch this here, and we can start to see that there's the over rotation, the head has to stay out late, so the arms can't be in the right spot, the head can't be in the right spot. So then your body position is really kind of going really rotated to one side and then flat on the other side, really rotated on one side, flat on the one side, really rotated and then flat. So we need to kind of work through that to be able to find the timing. So the timing that we find works best is we call 3/4 recovery. It's pretty standard in swimming here, and we'll show. Okay, so here's the standard timing. We can see here my hands are going to be switching right at this kind of 3/4 position here. So they're going to switch from this side to one side. That's going to enable me to actually use my body to switch at that time and get a generation of power on my body rotation, right? It's also going to be able to help me keep my shoulders and my hips coordinated. And that's what we're looking for out of body position. So timing is kind of an unknown thought process in terms of maintaining your body position. Probably the most common one we see is maybe the ladder swim. So just trying to keep the legs flat so you're not getting that 3/4 recovery because your legs are sinking, so you have to keep that propulsion up so you don't actually sink. The other one we see, kind of just because total immersion, is the overglide. So we see a ton of people swimming with a really low stroke rate, so they just look like they're sinking, and their head's underwater, their hips are underwater, and then they have to over rotate to be able to get breath, and it really makes a kind of a mess of their body position. So there's a lot of things that we can work on in terms of maintaining our body position and giving you those positions, but the next thing you have to do is actually do it in the right order at the right time, right? So can you learn how to mechanically do it, and then let's put it all together into a more complex movement. Okay, thank you.